for the gold. I know he's not the favorite, but 22-1. I'll put $100 on it.
Yeah, it's
not the worst long shot you've ever.
One of those guys that's hard to bet against in a big game. It was the same thing with Gushu here at the trials. It's like, well, they've had a crappy year, but this is if there's an event all year that they're going to get up for, this would be the one, right?
Yeah,
probably even more so than the Briar, because he knows this is his last year. So
his last go around, yeah.
Yeah.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
All right, so this is a split draw. We got men's and women's games.
With change comes questions.
I did the draw last night too. I think it was too.
No, it wasn't. We just had the noise from a different club. It was all ladies game.
Oh, is that what I was hearing? Okay.
Yeah, it was crossed. I told Jerry it was crossed. Hopefully he got that fixed, because this is a 6-sheet club and there were 6 ladies games. Unless one of them got a lot of bass and screamed fuck at the top of their lungs. So maybe Jerry got that. He heard it. He checked and we'll see. A very pleasant good day, curling fans, and welcome to the Swift Current Curling Club. It's the RBC Securities Western Showdown here on Curling Stadium. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you across the sea, konnichiwa, arigato gozaimasu. We thank you so much for joining us. We had this matchup between Momoha Tabata from Sapporo and Delaney Strouse of the U.S. It is Tabata with the Yellow Rocks with Hammer here in end number 1. My name's Dave Schmell. I'm joined by Sean Joyson. Sean, good morning.
Good morning. As long as you don't try to say it's bright and early, because it's still dark. They're at it early. Long days here for the next couple of days in Swift Current with both men's and women's action. Split draw on this morning. A lot to be determined between now and Sunday as to who gets into the playoffs.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of action. We have 5 draws today, 5 draws Friday, and 5 draws on Saturday. So there's no reason to be anywhere else but Curling Stadium this weekend. Get your beverages cold or hot, however you like them, and get your popcorn ready. Or Kit Kats. Kit Kats are good. And do you know that there's more than 28 different flavors of Kit Kats in Japan?
I did not, but I have seen it's one of those things they pop up on your feed and on social media every once in a while. Somebody's found another one. The labels are interesting because it still says Kit Kat in English, but the rest of the writing's in other languages. And yeah, there's Kit Kats all over the world in all kinds of different flavor combinations. Some of them sound interesting. Some of them I question. But I'm not going to lie, I'd try them all. That's an unexpected miss early that could turn into a force.
Yeah, we had a few of them. It is, the first game for both of these teams.
Yeah, I had a chance to do a game last night. 24 teams on the women's side. They're playing in pools of 4 for a round-robin portion of the qualifying event. And, yeah, this would be... I think it'll be the next draw yet before everybody's played their first one on the women's side. Now, the men just getting started this morning.
And we had... Last night, I had the matchup between Fujisawa and Kitazawa. That turned out to be a very interesting game with some back and forth turns of events. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't congratulate Team Yoshimura on their Olympic berth. And at the same time, congrats to Team Danny Casper securing their Olympic dreams yesterday.
Yeah, congratulations go out to both of those teams for sure. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that probably neither one of them watching this morning, because there might have been some celebratory beverages last night.
It might. That's a possibility.
certainly a lot of pressure, and how much they felt it, but a lot of pressure for both of those teams because, of course, I think both countries, for that matter, expected to be represented at the Olympics. So to have to come down to that last chance qualifier, anything can go wrong in one game. So there's still 4 more teams fighting for 2 more berths yet later today.
Yes, absolutely. We have on the U.S. side, the U.S. ladies trying to make it there themselves. Luck to that squad. So is that yellow one hanging on the side there, you think, Sean?
It's in play, but I don't think it's in the rings. It's quite the contrast. I don't know what the game you did last night was like, but the game I did, both teams were playing aggressively right from the opening end. Now, no time clocks here in Swift Current, probably worth noting that. So it's not like they're playing this open end just to bank time. This might be more an issue of just getting comfortable with the ice.
We had some very busy houses, and the game ended up being decided with a 5 spot in the last end.
Oh, wow.
What proved to be the last end, the 7th end. Went from a tie game at 4-4 to a 9-4 victory.
That story only gets better if you say, well, it was decided with a 5 spot in the last end when they were down 4 coming home. That would have been...
Yeah.
That's more of a club game, though, I think.
Yeah. Fujisawa was in a great shot, and Kitazawa was lying a very precarious second, tried to draw underneath cover to lie second and third, and unfortunately slid all the way through the rings, leaving an open hit for 5.
Ooh.
Which is not something we say very often.
No.
Just after she had kept the game going with a spectacular highlight reel shot in end number 6, you get a chance to watch that replay. It is worth the watch. See, as we go back and forth here now, Team Tabata is from Sapporo, of course located on Hokkaido, the northernmost of the main islands. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Absolutely beautiful country. Almost like a Canadian landscape, honestly, Sean. That could be many things, I understand. A Canadian mountainous landscape.
Yeah. Well, we have our mountains right here in Saskatchewan now too, but in the springtime they'll be gone. They'll have melted. That's right now they're there because that's where we had to put the snow. I kid a little bit. There's not that much snow yet, but we've been having it for the last couple of days, and I'm getting tired of running the snowblower already. And it's in the forecast again today. So a good day for me to sit at home and watch some curling.
I feel like we've all made lots of excuses to say it's a good reason to just watch some curling.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the forecast down in Swift Current. So Swift Current's about 4-hour drive from me, straight south. Well, not quite straight, but almost straight south. And I don't know if they're getting the same. This little weather pattern that we're having in Saskatoon might have missed them. You can't go by what we see there as to what there is for viewers, because I've been in the Swift Current Club. They have an outstanding viewing area that's upstairs, and typically for this event in the past they have put bleachers out there. Now I think they're using all 6 sheets right now, so there couldn't possibly be bleachers out there yet. But I also know Chris Eichert, the manager in Swift Current, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him have arrangements made to put the bleachers out there Saturday night after the round robin's concluded, right after they don't need all 6 sheets anymore, just to have them out there for Sunday. They will get some good crowds in Swift Current. They do enjoy the curling. Quite a field here too. With a lot of international teams, as you mentioned, in Kelowna for the Olympic qualifier. There are still quite a few of them here, and part of that ties into the fact that there's a Grand Slam coming up in Saskatoon, as well as a Tier 2 event. So a lot of these teams have made the trek to Swift Current, thinking, well, if we've got to go to Saskatchewan anyway, we might as well play a couple of events close together.
Now we see here for Team Tabata, it is Nahira throwing the fourth stones. Keep an eye on whether she's calling the game. She's wearing a jacket, so that would feel like that's the case.
On the brush on this right away. Don't imagine she was trying to roll to the corner here. This one is deep enough. I think if you roll to the corner, you'd be out of the rings.
They are just going to catch it. Can they slide it all the way out? Keep on sweeping. It's a long, long way. Does it spin out? Oh, that's close. I think it is out, though. That is very, very close. But certainly appears to be out because...
I'm not sure that it is.
But, well, they're drawing the center, so...
Yeah, if it was out, you'd freeze to it. If you were sure it was out, because then it makes this one hard to get out.
If it was in, wouldn't you just hit it?
That's your own rock. If you were in, you're just drawing for the second one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I'm thinking it looks like they're doing here.
Okay, that's correct. I haven't had my coffee yet either, Sean.
If you put this one in the hacks, my coffee's in front of me. If you put this one in the hacks, it kind of doesn't matter.
Negates all that, doesn't it? Oh.
If it's not in, it's close enough that they can't afford to just leave it there. And I think it's in. And I say that because if it was just out of the rings, that's a great rock with your last one. You freeze to it and make the blank tough. When she wasn't playing the freeze to it, I'm thinking she was drawn to sit too. Of course.
So here's Nahira moving the broom just a little bit on the blank attempt.
They swept the first one right out of her hands. I'm thinking maybe a little soft on the release. Definitely more positive here.
Yep, this one going out in instead of in out. Gonna get it, gonna stick it, and it will be the single point forced. Strouse will have the hammer when we come back from Swift Current right after this on Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsocktickets.com. Let's rock!
Anyway.
Yeah, it's playing Scott. And welcome back to Swift Current Curling Club. It's the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. It was a single point for Tabata, and Delaney Strouse from Traverse City has the hammer here, throwing the Red Rocks in end number 2. Once again, welcome to Curling Stadium. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine day for curling.
If we were talking about it a bit during the break. Well, first of all, the lineup. Of course, all we've got is the 4 players that we see on the pictures, and we think we've got it figured out that the Japanese team is throwing in a different order than what we've got listed here. But also and this is something that Delaney may have gone to school on, the 2 skipped stones there from the Japanese foursome, both over curled on her. Certainly looked like she threw a little more weight and definitely a good release on the second one. So you just wonder if she's not sliding a little bit. I don't even want to say tight, because both of them would have been the same way. So sliding a little bit left of target, and that'll be something to watch for. It's something certainly with an experienced skip. If you see that from an opposition player, you're going to try to lean towards making them play those shots where they've got to come left or right at it.
Another thing I noticed last evening, I'm sure you did as well, not the largest amount of curl that we ever see on tour.
Well, it depends. Yeah, I'll argue that there was. It almost seemed to me like, and again, you hate to make a judgment based on only one game, but it looked to me like one side was curling harder than the other.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's the one other issue that we have with the way we broadcast these is, unless you're really paying attention to that number 5 up in the corner, it's real easy to forget what sheet you're calling, because with our view, they pretty much, one sheet looks like the other. So I can't even tell you what sheet I was looking at last night when I noticed that. Oh, a little wobble on the delivery there.
Here you go, breaking through the 4th hole. Everybody thought we were perched high up in the club.
Now, I'm happy to admit with them now that we do this remotely. We are looking at a different screen. In some cases, more than one. This morning, I've only got the one open, but
there's another one that slides through.
Yeah, the draw weight's been more of an issue this morning than you would expect. Again, as is the case in pretty much all events nowadays, the team have a practice session before the game, and then they draw to the button to determine who's got last rock in the first stand. And because that draw to the button is so important, here we're playing a round robin here. It's usually used for the tiebreakers for standings as well. So because that draw to the button is so important, pretty much the entire pregame practice is spent on that draw to the button. So it's really odd to see this much trouble with draw weight in the first couple of ends. That should be what they have in their back pocket. We've seen a few hits and rolls out, and those are more expected because, of course, they didn't practice any hits. They don't know how they're going to run. We've seen a couple of over curls already, and then they rolled out. That's expected, but this has been a lot of missed draws for the first 2 ends.
And you saw that draw. That draw was a little short there, so it's going to bring up the double peel attempt. Now, in those draws of the button, it was the Japanese squad that was basically on the button. Strouse was in the 8-foot for their draw. Didn't catch who threw it. There you go. There's a beautiful double peel.
So just the one rock left in play right now, and that's that tripping hazard over on the right as we see it in the overhead.
And that one's not one you can really freeze to.
No, you'd have to freeze to it about 3 times to have a nibbler.
Did you watch any of the qualification event in Kelowna?
I did not. It was behind a paywall where I am, and given that Canadian teams were already guaranteed their berths, I didn't feel the need to pay for that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I did watch the line scores, and I was keeping tabs on. It was really interesting, really on both sides of the draw. There were some interesting combinations coming into the final round robin draw about who could make the playoffs. There were still, on the men's side, as I recall, there were 3 teams that all had a shot at the last qualification berth, depending on how the results went in the last draw. And the women's side was a little bit more clear cut for the last spot because the U.S. squad faced Germany, and it was the winner was in and the loser was out. So almost like a playoff game right there.
Now you see Madison Bear throwing the corner guard here for Team Strouse with one in the rings for the Tabata squad.
This is what we call a really tight corner guard. It's going to be in the 12-foot.
So once again, the struggles with dialing in the weight and the early going. But this is still the first game for both of these teams.
Yeah, and you know, you can. That one's a little bit more understandable because you're guessing a little bit going to the corner. Again, in that pregame practice, all the draws go to the middle, and it's really easy to get it in your head going to the corner early in the game that, oh, nothing's been out this way yet. It might be a little heavier.
Hit, and they are going to roll into the rings, but leave the double there.
Got rid of that tripping hazard, though.
And now we're going to probably be moving back towards that open end.
Yeah. Second end of the first game, so they'll probably straight play the double. But, you know, if you could just hit this one and roll right in front of the other one, and then turn around and say, okay, Tabata, what do you want to do? It's not a good enough stone to really guard, but you might have to if you didn't think you could get the red out. That's what she's going to end up
that's
with.
what's
it needed to curl.
Yeah, it did. They were trying to hold it straight, still hanging on to the double, kind of caught in between there, Sean.
Yeah, and it's big that they didn't get one or the other, because now there's a way to get the red out and roll to spread out the two yellows. You might be back to a pretty good looking force opportunity here.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much room in the backboards at that end, but there's still enough room for her coat. And as she's carrying it down there, I'm thinking it's been a while since I played in Swift Current, but I do recall it can get cold in that building.
Nice positive release towards the target. On it for the line. Going to catch it. It's going to gear off. How much of a roll? Not enough.
No, it leaves a pretty easy double. A little over curl on that one. No, it was quieter weight than the two last end. And the two last end that she quite dramatically over curled on were both out turns. So she definitely didn't slide left on that one. Slide left on an in turn, you might miss it altogether.
So here we have Ann O'Hara throwing last stones.
From the other hack. We're just going to call it the other hack. The unmentionable hack.
So here's O'Hara.
Oh, they didn't just miss it again, did they? Yes, just missed the sweep call again.
Oh, no, it's... Hold on. So we have... Okay, here we go. That's not Ann O'Hara. Ann O'Hara is throwing lead. So we have a different person throwing last rocks. Is that...
Oh, that's a... So you're saying
it's a sub.
It's a sub wearing an O'Hara jersey.
It's a sub for Delaney. I know... doesn't... I know their fifth had been Susan Dutt, but I'll have to get on my research train. And it looks like the force is going to be on.
Yeah, we finally see a made hit.
99% sure I know who that is. I just need to make sure.
I knew you were looking somewhere. I was just going to tell you I can tell you that nobody in the chat has bothered to tell us who it is yet. I was peeking.
Well, if it's who it is, I haven't. If it's who I think it is, I haven't played against her in about 7 years. So a lot of things can happen at that age in 7 years.
A lot of weight here.
And the final stone sticks, and it's going to be a single point, all tied up after 2. Back from Swift Current after this.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Welcome back to Swift Current, all tied up. 1 apiece. It is Team Tabata with Nahira on the skip with the hammer, throwing the yellow stones.
Yeah, both teams having a little early difficulty with just the draw weight and the hit lines. Although the last 2 skip stones, 1 for either team, the hits made perfectly. So you'll see that improve as the weekend goes on, and certainly both of these teams hoping it improves as the game goes on. 4-game pools, they're playing everybody in their own pool, so you just get 3 games through the round robin portion. Every one of them so important.
Second lead stone coming down for Team Strouse. They're going to make the hit. Try to roll and recover. Didn't quite get it.
Yeah, got a little bit of air there yet if they want to try to roll underneath. Nose hit here actually wouldn't be bad for Tabata. She's got last rock. You make the nose hit. Strouse, I don't think, could get into the rings off of it. Yeah, that's good right there. You roll under, and there's the chance that Strouse just decides to go right around everything, use this as a second guard. She could roll to the outside here and get into the rings. I just don't know if she can get it across it enough to get a nibbler at the front of the 12-foot. It's close.
Oh, it is close.
I thought you'd be playing the double here regardless. Oh, this is surprising. You won't see too many teams, especially in an odd end, coming around a stagger like this. It's the other team's guards. That redstone that was just thrown is probably available for, unless you can get dead in behind it, it's going to be available for a short run back. This is not heavy. Draw weight struggles continue here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're the Strouse team, this is exactly what you wanted. You've got three, essentially all guards on the center line. You've got an end here where you can close off the house. Even if it just ends up being a force, you've got the hammer back in 4, but one good draw and you're in position to possibly steal here. This might not be that draw, though.
Just behind the T line.
Too many guards now for Tabata, so she's going to make the play on them. Ooh, a little thin on the first one and just stuffs it into the second one, so that stone at the corner of the button still partially behind cover.
Yeah, so now an opportunity for Team Strouse.
Ooh, that last little spin. Not sure if that benefited them or not. It certainly doesn't hurt. I mean, they essentially ended up with the Christmas tree with the stone at the back corner of the button. So looking to move at least a couple here. They're actually lined up where she might be able to get the three closest to the center line.
On the way from Tabata.
One got two, touched all three, but only going to get one out of play. And I think that one at the top 12 foot looks like it's still biting.
It certainly does.
Another chance at the come around. She has to go a little bit wider this time because she's got to get around that one that's just biting. That was essentially the one she just threw. I mean, it's been replaced with the run back, but it's on the same line.
And got some visual confirmation. It is Madison Bear doing the skipping duties for Team Strouse. So we just need to find out who the imposter O'Hara is.
Well, and now the fact that that stone at the front is still biting is, you already see how huge it is, because you're not in the spot for the blank. She's thinking about coming around. I think that's just too many red stones to ignore. Especially when there's a couple of tight ones for runbacks. They're looking at running the yellow. The three at the hack end are looking at running the yellow into something just to get a double peel going. I think your two options, if you're going to play it that way, you either try to run it almost straight back, get the one that's biting the rings, or I'd be running it on more of the angle towards, the one she's looking at. So basically run it across the center line into the one that's just outside of the rings. There's a chance that clips the stone at the back of the 8-foot, and then at least your shooter rolls off. They're even talking, I think, about if you run it into the right kind of the crotch of the two that are farthest apart, there's a chance you touch all three of those red ones. I don't think the one on the left, as we look at the overhead, would go, but if you rub it, at least it gets it off the center line. I think they have to do something with the guards.
Well, you absolutely have to, because even if that one off the center line isn't in, it splits in very easily.
Yeah, well, if none of those three were in, you'd play the hit on the open rock and just turn around and say, well, whoever you are throwing last for the other team, do you really want to take the risk of leaving a stone in the 8-foot for the team with last rock and possibly giving up a deuce? For now, though, she looked at coming around. There's so much danger coming around because it's going to be such a short run back on a red guard that could still end up buried behind a wall of granite. So I think you have to address these guards. And they talked about it. I'm not sure what they ended up deciding as to which way they're going to run it. Probably not dead straight back. You'd like to kill at least two reds here.
So on the way from Tabata, trying to hold the line here.
And roll off the center line.
On the one, they get the second one. They're going to roll off the center line. So it is decidedly more open now, Sean.
Well, it's more open. That is not, of all the possibilities, that's the one I never would have even thought about playing. Like, it didn't help them a lot. That was the least valuable of the red guards to remove. You make that same shot the other side, at least you've got the entire in-turn to the button. Right now, you don't have a clear path to the button from either side. Makes this decision easier. You're playing a come around. They haven't made it yet from this side, but they've seen it a few times, so they've got a better idea what this in-turn side's going to do.
Okay, so this is Ann O'Hara throwing the last rocks. Unless she had some major reconstructive surgery to change her identity.
Okay, so you're suggesting it's the other O'Hara that's
the imposter, yes.
Okay.
The one on our left right now. Bunny Hopper.
The blonde O'Hara is the fake.
The blonde O'Hara is the fake O'Hara. Now, if this was the FBI, we would take a look at that tattoo and see if it matched any database.
Another struggle with draw 8, though. She puts it in the back 12, and now
just try to draw your way out of it, eh?
Yeah, you're already forced. If we're going to get forced, we may as well try to get forced to 2. It is still one of those situations, though. Now, there is the red at the back that she could jam if she leaves the short run back, but this might be one where you still don't want to put it absolutely dead behind the red stone, because she could play the run back, and if she absolutely dead sticks it behind cover, you're in all kinds of trouble. You're going to need 3/4 behind, though. You don't want her to be able to pick it out.
This one's going to get at least a little bit under. just to edge on edge.
Yeah, weight was pretty good, but she's left her plenty to go after it.
Definitely can put the force on. So Madison Bear holding the broom. I got that. And O'Hara getting ready to throw the stone. I got that. We know Sydney Mulaney will be brushing.
I was going to say, 2 young ladies down at the other end getting ready to brush. I got that much. I know there's 2 of them.
So we have the head-to-head record. Team Tabata, thanks to folks in the chat. Strouse is 2-0 in this series. This is one of those teams that might be looking to try some different combinations and shake some things up going into the next quadrennial. Their final stone.
On the brush right away. She does have that stone just out front. She's got to get by.
Just ticks it and still gets away with it and clears it out. Oh my goodness, that was fortunate, Shawnee.
Yeah, that's a whisker away from giving up 2, and as it ends up, it's a force, and this draw really has to be made too. We've seen both teams struggle with draw weight. She is facing 3 now. If that one wasn't in before, it's definitely in now. I think it was in before. Had the weight on the last one, just didn't get the line she was looking for. Same shot will do it.
So final stone of end number 3. Just needs the 8. They're both trying to brush that stone there for Nahira. They're facing a whole bunch. They got to make sure it's there. Looks to be okay. Just slide past the guard. He got it no problem. So it's been a whole bunch of single points thus far. We'll be back for the 4th end after this on Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
And welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club. Been all single points thus far between Team Strouse and Team Tabata. It is Team Delaney Strouse with Ann O'Hara throwing last rocks, with the hammer throwing the red stones. Here in end number 4.
And now somehow the Strauss team seems to be down to 3, although that's probably temporary. Here she comes back to the ice now.
Comes back, yeah. I do believe Madison has the skipping duties. And Ann is throwing the final two. Nope, Ann is skipping. There's Maddie skating on down.
Yeah, she was throwing the lead stones. I saw that.
Oh, imposter. Oh, Madison's throwing lead. Okay.
Yeah.
This is all kinds of confusing.
My roster is just throw it away. My roster has a lead, and
I need a new piece of paper.
Boy, this is the third out of 4 ends where they've got a rock just hanging around where they got to take a look from overhead. It's like it looks from our overhead screen like it's out, but it's got to be close because Tabata was again over there taking a look at it.
Oh, there's Maddie. Got Sydney and a player to be named later.
Who appears to be throwing second stones?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Just going to go with Fake O'Hara. We checked with the parents of one of Delaney's former teammates, and neither of them know who this person is.
Oh.
You thought I had something. No, I don't, actually. So we're going to go with a local sub and see if we can't find out later. We will try to get an answer later on this weekend for sure.
Before they play in the final.
So here's the great mystery curler of Swift Current.
We still don't know that. Throwing second, that's unlikely that you take a complete unknown and throw them at second stones. I'm threatened to leave another one of those rocks that we couldn't tell whether it's biting or not. That one rolled far enough. We know it's out of the rings.
And my eyes that are trying to figure this out want to compliment you, Sean. You have fans in the main line here in the Philadelphia area, and they call you Faux Russ. It's your uncanny sound, but I think you sound better than Russ, buddy.
I've heard that before, and as I've said before many times, I don't hear it, but I'll take it.
So trying to take out way on the outside, and did we get a little bit too far outside? I think we're going to run out of sheet. And ooh,
I need a replay. There was.
Do we have that again? I think they think it's good because they let it go.
I think so too, because if it had hit the other way first, after the contact, it hit the divider, then came back. If it hit the divider first, it would have spun into it and probably stopped there dead. But certainly on the delivery.
Oh, I don't. Oh my goodness, I still don't know. But I think it was clean.
I think so too. The delivery looked like she had a bit of a drift going, and that just carried that rock back all the way down.
You see where she ended up finishing her slide way the heck out there.
Yeah, You should never be that far off the center line.
Made it by a whisker, and that's all that counts. And here we have another one slide up just a little bit too heavy.
Well, not very close to the line they were looking for either. Here's where it gets interesting. So if you're the Strouse team right now, you try to hit and roll to the corner, you expect that Tabata will hit that. Now you're down to 3 rocks left, and if you're going to try to make an offensive move, that's when you do it. So she's not going to get the roll away, so that takes the whole conversation point away. But had you made the roll to the corner, you might have been coming around that center guard on the next one no matter what. Now Tabata's got the chance to freeze, and she's right down to it. She's got the force. She looks like she wants to play some weight at it. I don't like that call. You've got a chance here to play for your force. You lock the freeze on, you got a chance for the force. You can even be in front of the tee line. The guard's a little bit long, but if you're just in front of the tee line dead lined up, you've got a chance to steal this end. From the overhead, I'm trying to do the math real quick. If you freeze to it and they freeze to it again, there's probably room to get to the pin yet. If not, it would be close. Now that point towards the sky usually means heavy. Trying to make it curl. Poked it out a little bit, but the shooter stays open, so another chance to hit and roll. Now she'd be sitting 2, albeit both at the back of the rings, spread out if she can make the roll to the corner.
Delicate little shot, but very makeable.
Yeah, I mean, if she hits it right on the nose, it's not the end of the world. Tabata might have the chance to play the double in that case, or she might play the hit and roll on top. You make the roll to the corner, you just don't really give her those options. She's probably either hitting the open one to reduce the damage or really risking it all to play the freeze again. This is not getting the roll, though.
Going to get just a little bit of a roll.
Well, it got a little spin at the end, so it's a flat double, but they're pretty close together. Want a little more roll. You get that another foot over there, and there is no double. See that little gesture from the Strouse team behind? They were just, and it was quick, so I didn't actually see which one of them pointed. But there is a chance if she's a little thin on the first one, comes dead into the side on the second one, it comes jam straight across and could jam and leave it for a biter.
No, it certainly could. Or on this one, hard for the line, off the hand of Nahira. Gonna get the one only coming to contact, but rolls up and on top, and that's really not the worst result, Sean.
No, that's an amazing result. You wouldn't have thought with it being that flat she could get on top like that, but when it touched the second rock, you saw it really gear up. It came forward in the house a little bit and kept on rolling to get in front of that red.
So how do you ever score 2 now?
Well, you're either drawing here, which wouldn't be the worst idea. I mean, you could play the hit on that yellow and try to roll into that red that's just out of the rings. The problem is you're going to lose the red that's right behind it, and it would be scary to throw that again. That yellow, you can't see all of it. If you could see all of it, you'd throw weight at it, blast those 2, and just roll to what they just looked at. But you can't see all of that yellow, and it's a little scary to throw the extra weight. That might be what they're looking at now. Like if you could throw a full weight hit and not have to worry about coming tight by the guard, you do it. But a freeze tap's not the end of the world here either. If you could come down to the nose of the yellow, and if anything, just a little bit on the outside of it, tap, tap, move that yellow back or the red back into the 12-foot somewhere, and then leave the red-yellow angle to go past it. That's a good option too. This is still a fine option. It's a tougher shot with that guard there. This is one where you could very easily get caught in between. You try to, because there's a couple inches between them, you could hit it really thin and just pick it clean.
So on the way from O'Hara.
The danger here is you blast them both out and roll out of play, and then Tabata gets to come around the guard. Almost picked it clean. Get it. She can't afford to give up a chance for two here. See if she can
here
hit
on the
and roll
takeout.
dead buried, and then that might force a decision. Not enough of a roll to get it buried, so there will be, I think,
No
a blank
decision.
opportunity.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we saw Tabata take a look at that stone earlier in the end to see whether or not it looked like it did, and she took another look at it there. I think maybe deciding, is that close enough that we want to measure if she rolls out?
They might swing a stick on it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
first
it's
things
one of
first.
those where if you...
A little bit
I'll
of
be
a
honest
different look from the unspeakable hack here.
Yeah. You might see one team or the other call for the measure no matter what. I don't want to put the jinx on her, but if she were to hit this on the nose, they might ask for the measure hoping that it was for two.
So final stone of the fourth end.
Oh, that was an outward motion on the release. And they're looking for curl.
Already trying to work the curl. Gonna need to work hard to get a piece, and no, they won't.
Well, we don't have to
And
measure
it's
the
gonna
red
be
one.
a stolen point. A single point, and they take a 2-rock lead. Team Strauss has a hammer in 5 when we come back to Swift Current after this.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
I have an idea. And it played down to Boston. Once again, welcome back to Swift Current. It was an unlikely steal there in end number 4, Sean.
Yeah, like it was funny as she was throwing it, we were debating whether or not we saw Tabata take a look at that stone that appeared to be just out of the rings. There might have been a measurement one way or the other, but just a little pop on the release, and it enough that it wouldn't come back and just slid by it. There have been some struggles for both teams here in this game, and to some extent to be expected in the opening draw and ice you're not familiar with, but you know, it's getting to the point where it's getting beyond that. One of these teams has to, and certainly both of them would like to, but one of them is going to have to pick their game up here. See if it can happen in the second half. It's been an unusual way to see teams struggle too. You see weight struggles on the draws, but it's line that they're struggling with on the hits, and both teams.
Oh, for sure.
It appears the call here is for heel weight.
And we have a tentative identification on our mystery curler. I think it may be Tessa Thurlow. Who is playing with McMakin at the playdowns when it's in Boston. So that's who we think it is right now. Don't know, though. Facebook pictures are inconclusive. It's very possible, though. Anyway, we wish her good curling. So now if your team's Strouse, you got to get back in gear now.
Yeah, and I hate to sound
negative. That's never been a problem for you before.
Yeah, hard to, because they can look, 2 years out of high. There's a guy, a buddy of mine, Tony Coral, curled for a lot of years with Bruce Cordy, eligible for seniors now, and I've told him this to his face. I've seen pictures of him in Bondsbills where they've won. He looks exactly the same. It's a lot easier on the guys. What I'm saying is it's usually a lot easier to go to the Facebook post on a whim if they decide to change their hair color, and they can. If a woman ever decided she needed to escape the law, I think she'd be able to get a disguise a lot better than a man would.
Well, it'd be easy for you, Sean. You just have to lose the Santa beard.
There's still pictures of me out there without it. I don't think I'd look a whole lot different from what I've appeared before. But
that and cut off your, maybe if we cut off your Coca-Cola supply.
Well, that'd just make me angry. As long as I still have coffee, I guess I'd be okay. Wow. Well made to come that wide and make it. It certainly looked more natural to come around the middle, but of course, you don't really want to play around the center, and that center guard is so long. They did end up deeper than they would have liked there, but between the freeze and the fact that it's that wide, you know, they're happy to play this end out in the corner like that.
That's right. Try to come around the outside again. Can they sneak another one around and stack it up?
Not critical if they're all the way down to it if it's buried. They swept it like they think it's critical to be all the way down to it. Now with the little tap, who's got second? Might still be the red one. It's not going to matter for a little while yet, but it could before this end is over.
Okay, so Tessa Thurlow is indeed the mystery curler. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Thank you, chat. Oh, and you doubted my powers of in deductive reasoning.
Isn't that like your fourth guess?
Oh, Oh, that's okay. We got it right now. So we have Tessa Thurlow throwing second.
It's 1 for 4 is playing pretty fast and loose with powers of deductive reasoning.
I think the only one I got wrong is when I thought it was Susan. Then I quickly was corrected there by everyone who knows her.
Well, originally you thought Ann O'Hara was not Ann O'Hara, but
well, we have, yeah, but she's throwing fourth. The real Ann O'Hara is standing up, standing up, standing up.
Looks like we got one early result. Some teams leaving the ice. This the struggles with the draw weight continuing here. Was hoping, even talked about it as we started in the end, that maybe teams would start to find it here in the second half.
I'd like to thank our crack investigative research team. Crack or crackpot, somehow it worked.
Oh, don't think they got that in far enough to be shot rock. Now it is half buried, and any attempt to play at it probably you run the risk of jamming it. So
I feel like it gets over the ones in the back.
Well, it could. But I think you could see enough of it to jam it. You wouldn't want to take that risk. She's going to try to come around it. This is not without risk either, though. You touch that red on the way by, it becomes shot rock buried. Well, second shot, your shooter's probably going to be shot, but it would be open. This could turn into a 3 possibility in a hurry. You rub this on the way by, push it in for second, roll open. She hits and rolls under, and now you're looking at 2 buried. I don't think she's got to worry about rubbing it. She's worried more about stopping right now. Boy, look at that move at the end. That grabbed.
Well, it was a good grab.
Yeah, that was not natural. And it stopped so suddenly and actually had less spin as it was coming into the house as well.
So now Sydney's going to come down and talk this one over with Madison. You like just coming straight down Broadway here?
Well, the only choices I see are you're either trying to remove guards, and the two guards are lined up well enough. You got to try to get both of them. You probably got to go after the long one. If they were staggered, you'd just peel the tight guard because it's the only one that's really a threat. And the only other option I see really is to try to split on the red one that's in the 8-foot, get it in behind cover, maybe poke it out a little bit on the other side, roll your shooter and sit second and third, and then you'd be able to get at that shot rock. But that's all contingent on what they leave you. This is not close to what they were playing.
Top one, they're going to send one of theirs in the rings and scatter things. Leaves a Christmas tree formation.
We've talked about how the line has been the issue on the hits, and that was not close to the line they were looking for again.
So do you think it's delivery or broom placement?
Well, it certainly has looked like on a few of them that the deliveries weren't right necessarily up the stick. You'd see a few pops or something like that, but I can't imagine that's all of them. And for a lot of these players, they're used to having that little bit of a positive release anyway. So if they're used to that, if that's something they normally throw, the broom should be in the right place for it. But we're seeing a lot of overcurls on hits, which is unusual, especially since the struggles with the draws have been weight. But if anything else, they're undercurling the draws. That is already, it looks like sitting 2. And with just Skipstone left, if she gets this well guarded here, the Strouse team might have to be worried about just making sure they have a chance to score. I don't see any way they're bringing 2 back into play.
And any little vision that you had of picking out that yellow rock is probably gone now.
Well, I don't know that they would have played that anyway. I think you have to get the 2 guards, but even that doesn't guarantee anything. Like, you really need to move that red one off the top of the 8-foot as well.
Well,
Just
with that
thinking about
guard,
the draw, wow.
Yeah, with that guard there, can you just draw the pin twice?
Well, you'd have to be the back of the pin the first time to have room to get there the second time. That's a little dangerous.
Or maybe just shots.
Yeah, I don't like the top 8-foot one that they're looking at. I mean, I get it. You leave yourself an angle. The problem with it is she'd just guard the angle, and now your rock's in the way of the draw. Like, you'll have no draw for the last one if you put it there. I do think if you go over the top yellow, double peel the yellows, you should be able to get it to come back straight and clip that red. That red's not helping you where it is. I think this is all she's got. If you could, this is getting greedy now, but if you could ever get it over the top of the second yellow enough to slice it back ever so slightly, you might be able to jam the red onto that yellow in the 4-foot. That's asking a lot. But if you could do that, that would deal with the stone and it's biting the button now, and you definitely have a shot to score. In fact, there's a possibility you might leave it buried somehow or another.
So here's O'Hara.
Needs to at the least make the 2 yellow guards go away, and this is inside again.
Sydney picks it up right away. This is going to be over the top.
Yeah, that's the wrong side of the rock here. And she was never far enough out to hit it where they were trying to hit it. That had to be narrow out of her hand. She never got that out to the broom.
Now, this sets up the draw for Nahira to
Yeah,
fly
it
2.
does for sure.
Actually, he had 2. No, 3.
3. I think it's 3. Well, and the thing about it is, even if you're short, like just take the draw path away. I wouldn't be too worried about that double. What she's worried about is she's left her enough, the yellow. She could try to... Oh, she thinks it's a triple. There's no triple. The red behind just jams. They're guarding nothing. There's nothing over here. They've talked themselves into being worried about something that just isn't even there. Now, the other side of that, let's turn this around. The draw to the button on what would be the out turn for Ann O'Hara. That corner guard is kind of in the way. The path is probably there, but just there. It's not going to look great from the hacks. By the time you're by that corner guard, you still have to get by that yellow in the rings.
So they're just trying to lay this one up over the hog line. They had to get it there first. And they just get it over.
Yeah, I mean, if the shot was there, it's still there. It's not there, I don't think. And the port's plenty big enough between the two guards. The issue is you got to get by the red corner guard, and then as it's curling in, you've still got that red at the top of the 8-foot, and then the yellow biting the button. You got to get by them to get to a big piece of the button yourself. I think the path is there. Hard to be sure of that one. It's only the second draw. But visually from the hacks, it's not going to look great.
So big shot here, facing 2. Ann O'Hara for Team Strouse. Needs to get a piece of the button. Final stone of the 5th end. Needs to work this between the two guards.
This does not look light. And yet it's still curling. Look at it go. They got to go for line.
And now Tessa is going to hold the line off of it. This needs to settle down. Squeezes past both of them. Maybe it gets a little rub. It will help it. It does not. How deep does it slide?
Oh, surprised she stopped sweeping.
So am I, but it's a single stolen point. And the Japanese squad has a 3-stone lead as we head to 6. We'll be back from Swift Current after this.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
And welcome back to Swift Current. It's the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown here on Curling Stadium. I'm Dave Schmel, joined by Sean Joyce. Kaylee is on the cameras, and you're here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a single stolen point for Team Tabata. In end number 6, Team Strouse has some work to do, Sean.
Yeah, they do. Now, the saving grace for them, they got the hammer in the even ends, and really, I've talked about it at length, and it's just surprising to me the types of struggles that we've seen. We've seen them from both teams. They've had weight issues on the draws and line issues, and I don't mean minor line issues. That double peel attempt last end on the first one, I mean, she was looking for half a rock on the broom side. She had half a rock on the other side. That's missed the line by an entire rock's width. And there's been, I don't want to pick on one player because there's been lots of that from both teams in this game. So they're struggling with line on hits. And where that helps the Strouse team is if you can get something set up, it's not like it's automatic for Tabata to make the hits to get out of trouble. So she's got her corner guard up here. She'll see what she can generate in the even end.
And it is a 6th end, and we'll try to get you an update on the different scores in just a minute.
Maybe this has been the problem. We shouldn't spend all this time drawing to the middle because we know how to make it to the corner.
Is a nice draw underneath the beautiful corner guard.
Yeah, and again, first draw on ice that both teams aren't familiar with. All the pregame practice is run to the middle, and they're struggling on the shots to the middle. That's probably the best come around we've seen in the game, I think. You could make that argument, and it's to the corner, a rock that they probably haven't seen thrown yet.
So now the center guard coming up from Yamamoto.
Nice guard there.
Ends up in a very nice spot. Once again in that Christmas tree-like lineup.
Was the 5th stone of the end, however, and that means there's no more free guard zone.
So here's Thurlow. It's just the one off the top.
Yeah, and you can't blame the thrower for that one. They swept that all the way down to hold it straight and hit it too thin.
Does roll to a decent spot, though, Sean.
Yeah, but you would have liked to make contact with the ones in the rings. Like, touching one of those ones in the house was more important than getting the roll that far. You were going to roll for sure. That one was a line call. You can't put that one on the thrower.
Looking to replace the guard right now. With her second is Yamamoto. Not exactly the same spot.
No, probably a little bit higher and a little more lined up to the stone in the 8 foot. This makes getting a second rock to move a little tougher. I mean, it's still there.
So a long run, about 16 feet between them. Here comes Tessa. Delaney just watching this one. Watching it the whole way. On the one, back to the other one. Get them all moving. You do jam it, and you leave your opponent sitting 1 and 2 with one under cover.
Yeah, still better than it was, though, and it's, you know, the most unfortunate break was that they pushed their own into the open in the 12 foot. But you've got some stuff to work with now. The guard at the center guard is long, and it's your own. You come around it, there's going to be doubles one way or the other. That's the problem here that Tabata's team is having, is where do you put this rock? Like, you'd love to come around the center guard, but she's got the one in the corner, the 8-foot she can come off of. If you come too deep, she can actually see enough of the other one to play a double. If you ever peek out the open, she could come off your shooter here to the double on the one that's buried in the corner. Like, it's hard to find just the perfect spot to put this rock.
So they're going to come top 4, top 8, and basically say, listen, we're up by 3. It's your job to come get us.
Yeah, this might be one where she doesn't even want it absolutely dead buried. You certainly don't want to peek out in the open. Now it looks like they're trying to get it to curl. And when they take that one long swipe like that, you're trying to get it to curl without dragging it any further. So they're a little bit worried about the weight here as well.
That does go just a touch further.
I think it stopped just in time. She can't really get the double off the outside one, I don't think.
Yeah, you see Madison taking a look here. She's probably just going to play a little back line shot here. A little surprised with the turn choice.
Yeah, well, and that's what they're telling her from the hack end. They can see it from the other side. I don't mind the freeze. Here's the thing. You corner freeze from this side. Now you can come off it and kill that yellow in the side of the 8-foot as well.
Looks like they're playing it more as a tap.
Yep.
On and off, they must think it's kind of close. Past their own guard. Now, how far do they push it back? Into the back 8.
And they ended up dead buried. It is a long guard. You can get to it. And, based on what we just saw, you could get to it with enough weight to move it. Probably, dangerous to try to move it all the way out, but you only have to move it to the back 12 to sit 4, even if you're just full 8. You could sit 3 off this easy enough. If you're Tabata, you'd like to be sitting multiple here after this just to make sure you got a good chance for the force. This is light.
They do squeeze past the guard, but it's going to be well light.
Well, it's just a second guard. Now you really can't get at it.
That's a great stone for Team Strouse right here.
I don't love that hit. I didn't mind the one she was looking at first. I don't know why you'd ever look at hitting a rock in the back of the 8-foot. I didn't mind hitting the one at the top, and she looked at possibly making the roll over to the double. You don't even need that if you roll right to the face of your own. Like, I don't know. The double's great if you make it. It's a cross-house double. There's a little bit of risk if you hit it too thin, you're coming into your own, but she's looked at drawing to her own or playing that double across. You could play the hit and roll over onto the face of your own. And if you roll just past it a little bit, leave it cornered, you're still not in bad shape. The problem with the hit on the back one is you don't have a lot of room to roll before you're not shot rock anymore, and then Tabata goes after the one at the top again.
Right.
You really don't want to give her another chance to make something there. She freezes to it. She won't be able to tap it now, but if she freezes to it, anything in the back of the 8-foot's no good anymore. And you don't have to leave that for her. I don't mind this double attempt, because even if you just get over to the corner of that stone, tough one to remove. If you happen to get the second yellow out, now that red biter at the edge of the 12-foot, it starts to become a threat again. there's a lot of good things that could happen off this hit. You hit it a little thick, you just roll in behind the guard. Roll over, make the double, or just corner freeze on the second Yellowstone. That's good. You make the double. That's good.
They're looking to come at this pretty firm.
Yep. Yeah, she's looking for a long roll. You can't make it with bumper.
Thurlow hard on the brush. Hit the one. Roll on over. Will it spin up for second shot? It does, but that leaves your stones very vulnerable.
Yeah, they probably got caught in between on the roll there. That if it stops about 6 inches earlier, it's in pretty good spot. I mean, you'd be able to make contact with it, but you'd never be able to get it out past the yellow. The double, attempting the double is risky because it's going to be very thin on the second one. There is a chance it comes straight back to the one at the back. And boy, if you ever miss the second red one, you could jam this on the yellow at the back too. She's got to be really thin on the red she's making contact with. You should get over top of the yellow.
Did take just a fraction more ice there.
Her tendency so far on this out turn, she's been on the hits. She's over curled. And they're on for line right away.
Immediately out of her hand to try to hold it. Come down, get the one, and straight back and jam. How far can they sweep it out?
Well, and how far did it roll? See, she rolled too far. There's a hit to sit 4 there.
And now you take on the chase and you sit 4, and this could completely change the complexion of this game, Sean.
Yeah. Well, and if you don't like the chase, you could play the run. Like your shot stone is pretty well guarded. It is a red stone in front of it. You could run it back. But, I think it looks like she can see almost half. With quiet weight, you can make the hit roll back to the center line. And yeah, that yellow rolled just far enough that red is sitting 3rd and 4th right now. You make this hit and stay anywhere. You're sitting 4. And this came out of nowhere. She was looking at maybe getting a chance for 2. All of a sudden, she's one good hit and roll away from perhaps a chance to take the lead here.
So crucial shot here for Ann O'Hara.
Get by the guard.
Will they squeeze by? No, they tick it.
And fortunate, yeah. We're both thinking the same thing. Fortunate they didn't move their own out from behind cover.
Extremely fortunate. Now,
you wouldn't think you could rub that guard and still get between the red and yellow in the house.
Now, you have to know that if you're Nahira thinking about what shot to draw up right now, that's you're vulnerable here.
Yeah, you have to freeze. You have to make it. There's really no plan B here. I mean, if she's heavy on this one and runs by everything, it's still going to leave a double on the yellows. And I mean, we've seen plenty of that in this game.
Well, in lieu of the freeze, could he just draw the open side for second shot or third shot?
Well, I mean, you could. How are you getting there? You'd hate to leave another crosshouse double too.
Well, certainly seems easier than a freeze.
Well, the freeze doesn't have to be perfect. You're playing the come around. Like, she could be full top 8. What she can't be is heavy. She can play the double either way. That's hard to miss. Like, it's wide open, half a rock. The only thing is the second yellow probably comes into that. Could you make it off the other one? It might have stopped just in time.
This is going to be very, very interesting. It looks like the one that is shot might catch the underside on the way out.
Yeah, no, I don't think it catches the underside. The issue is that
Okay.
the other yellow is going to go into the like that
Into the
stopped.
winger.
If it stops, 6 inches higher, then you do probably lose the one at the top of the 4 foot. But as you're coming across, that yellow in the 8 foot goes underneath the two on the side. Right now, it's going into them. If it slides 6 inches deeper, you could come off the other one and get it. So, I mean, it probably stopped in as good a spot as it could when she didn't have the line or the weight. I mean, if that stops 2 feet short of that, she's in fine spot. She's still got the force. There's no double there.
So Ann O'Hara looking for a huge shot here. It's the final stone of the 6th end. Can get her team back in this.
Oh, that was a big pop.
Will it curl? They're going to try to get it to curl. You got to make contact. Hit the one, grab the other one, and it just jams, and it will be a single point for them, and it will be Team Tabata holding a 2-shot lead. Back with more on Curling Stadium after this.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Okay, no one believes me.
And welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club. It was a single point and a missed opportunity for Team Strouse. They trail by 2. Tabata has the hammer. We'll take a look at the other scores going on in this draw. Sean, bring us the ladies' scores.
Yeah, 3 ladies games on. In addition to our feature, we've also got one final. Sung-Yun Ha with the early victory. That was the teams we saw leaving the ice. She had a 7-1 win over Christy Watling. And Selena Sturmey, she did pick up 3 in the 5th, but still trailing Faye Henderson out of Scotland by a score of 7-3 as they play in the 6th there.
And over on the men's side, it's Ryland Kleider by a 5-1 lead over Bradley Moser. Tied up between Ross White and Lucas Klima. We have that draw. Gord Copperthorne has the call on that on our other stream. And it is tied up between Waddell and Lott at a score of 4. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Sean Joyce. And in the background, you can hear Kaylee and Jerry at our studios in London, Ontario.
Well, you could. I think they realized their mic was live. Turned it off.
I was trying to subtle hint that one.
Lucky for us, we didn't actually happen to catch them talking about the people they had calling the game. We would have found out honestly what they say to us when we can't say about us when we can't hear them.
Oh, I'm sure they say plenty of things, and a good number of them might actually be true.
Yeah, I suppose I can't argue that point. There's a very good come-around draw. Haven't said that a lot. We should set this end up with the single last end. And I mean, it went back and forth from could have been a steal, could have been a single, could have been a deuce, could have been as many as 4. So now with just getting the single for the Strouse team, they are down 2 with 2 ends left to play. A force, not ideal here. You pretty much have to play for the hard steal. I mean, if you get the force, 3s happen. I mean, she would have had a chance for 4 last end. But probably your more realistic opportunity in a 5 rock free guard zone with a no tick zone is you steal 1 here, you steal 1 8, and you steal 1 in the extra end. Not easy, but not impossible. And I'll guarantee you every team out here has done it. We saw the Tabata team steal 2 ends in a row already in this game. The critical thing with that is you can't sit there in the hacks thinking, oh, we need to steal 3 ends in a row. You just need to steal 1. And then after you do that, you just need to steal 1.
Is that all it takes?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't play the 8th end yet. You're still in the 7th.
Okay, so I'll write that down. You must play the ends in order. Got it.
And you can't play 2 of them at once, so.
That opens up.
Yeah, that's going to make it tougher.
So the guard's going to have to come back up.
Yep. There's still going to be a chance, you know, you play the guard, and you might play this right through to skips first, although that yellow is dangerous. You guard with skips first, and Tabata may just decide to take 2 here. But you can guard for a while. You know they're going to peel the guards. But at some point in the end, you can make a play on that stone at the top of the 4-foot, roll over into the 8 somewhere, sit 2, and Tabata's not likely going to draw against 2 when, you know, something goes wrong on the draw, you're suddenly tied. So she's going to make a hit on 1, and if she ever rolls out, you get your steal. Basically, those are your 2 options if you're trying to steal 1. You either have to get 1 well buried behind a center guard, or you make them look at 2 and hope for a rollout. I think we're going to see at least, well, the peels have to be made first, but probably
that has
2
not
more
been
guard.
a gimme.
Yeah, it has not been a gimme this game.
But that one is.
I think we're looking at 2 more guards anyway.
So here comes the guard. See the Scottish team over there, over our left shoulders there. Ross White and his squad. And here comes the peel.
And probably 1 more guard, and then probably 1 more peel, and then they might have a bit of a discussion. Like I said, you have to play the 1 in the rings. You don't necessarily have to hit it. You could try to freeze it with the first one, slightly off center, and hope that you get a mistake. She's thinking about it now. She's already wondering, do we play the guard 1 more time? This might be too early.
I would tend to agree with you that you need to throw another guard.
Yeah, well, but the problem with that is there's always the worry. Like if we throw 1 too many guards, when does Tabata change gears?
Right.
I don't think she'd change gears with 3 stones left when she's already sitting 1 with a 2-point lead, but she could. I mean, a lot of teams, if you take the score out of consideration, you got last rock. If you're going to switch gears, you're going to do it on 3rd's last stone. I think the situation dictates she's not going to do it here.
Well, this is going to be a guard.
This might be too long, though.
That might actually encourage them to change gears. We'll see.
Well, because here's the thing. You know that the Strouse team has to play something different on the next one. And that guard really isn't much of a threat where it is.
So there it is. You see Nahira referencing the draw down to Tabata, throwing third. All right, and the survey says that's the call.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd necessarily want to be all the way down to it, though. Like, you've got room. Leave yourself a foot in front of it. Leave some separation. You want to bury it, but leave yourself a foot. You get right down to it, even if you tap it, what's going to happen is the Strouse team is going to try to come down and tap one of those yellows behind the tee line, giving yourself something to throw out with their last one.
They are working this one hard for weight. It is not going to get there. It's going to be only a halfway guard. Right around everything, eh?
Yeah, I mean, there's still the option to try to come around the outside and push the yellow. It's just, it would have to really dramatically curl after caught by that. Granted, very high guard. So let's just play this through. You make this draw good. You'd have to be biting the button dead buried. I'm going to assume Tabata just peels the guard then.
And then the final stone is a guard.
Yeah, and you have to replace it perfectly because you leave her room to tap it. It's for two.
And it would leave in probably an out-turn tap. We'll see. First things first, got to make this one. Gonna draw around them all. So how deep's your target here, Sean?
You pretty much have to split center to get a good enough piece of the button, and this has got a curl even at that. It's out there.
It is starting to finish. We'll get up there enough to even be shot. Enough legs, enough curl?
Yeah.
Neither nor.
With that line, I'd have let it die. Like, you could have left yourself angled to tap it somehow or another. It's not doing you any good there. You don't need the double. I think you play this. No, you play this with quiet weight. You try to tap that back. You want to roll to the outside a little bit, and then if she does make that draw, you come off your stone. Yeah, roll to right where she just indicated. Doesn't matter whether the one at the back gets hit or not. You want to leave your shooter in a spot where if she made the perfect draw, you could come. Now they're talking about rolling way too far. She's not going to hit it. Roll a foot and a half to the outside, and if she makes the draw, you can always come off your own.
So Nahira bringing the jacket back. Folds it perfectly behind the backboards.
Ideally, if you could roll right to where the broom is, basically. Then if she makes that come around draw, you can come off your own and it's for two.
So Nahira Miko with her first of two in the seventh, trying to walk it over. Gonna catch a piece and push it back, and it rolls pretty much right where you wanted it, Shoney.
Yeah, that's a really good shot. Like, you can see it. You make the draw to where you're shot rock now, and she comes off that yellow for 2. I guess you might be able to make the hit and roll yourself. That's a tougher way to get there, but she might have to play it just so she doesn't leave the double. Looking for a very precise roll. And it's all pretty risk-free for the Tabata team. I mean, worst case scenario, you give up a steal of 1, you're still 1 up with coming home. But if she leaves this, like if she gets this to just buried, you could probably come at it with the same weight, move it enough to sit at least 1, maybe 2. If she overrolls it, same issue. If she doesn't get to shot rock, you could probably draw the other side, get your 2 that way. Not a lot of leeway here.
So the final stone's got to be the perfect draw. Gonna try to play it as a hit and tap and roll over.
They lost
Rolling 2-2, way too far. So it will be an open draw for 2 and likely the game.
Yeah. Although the way this game has gone, and again, keeping in mind that this is round robin portion, the qualifying, both of these teams are going to have to play later today. I could make a case for, if you're the Strouse team, play in the 8th end, just have that little bit of a regroup and say, look, we need to have 1 good end just to figure things out before we play in what is essentially going to be a must-win game later today. 1 and 2 not likely to make the playoffs. 2 and 1 is probably going to be tiebreakers of some sort or another, and that'll be the last stone draw.
Their draw shot for this game wasn't necessarily good.
This draw shot not necessarily good either. Needed 8 foot, throws a guard,
and it's a single point. Strouse will need 3 in the 8th when we come back.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
And welcome back. It's the final end here from the Swift Current Curling Club, the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown here on Curling Stadium. It was a single point, but a missed opportunity for 2 for Team Tabata. They have a 5-2 advantage heading into end number 8. Dave Schmel and Sean Joyce here with you. Thank you for joining us. So, Sean, Team Strouse has got to just get something going here.
Yeah, they do. I mean, but that mixed extra point is huge. You were speculating already if it might have been the end of the game. I don't know if it would have been just because both teams are struggling a little bit. You might want to play that last end, but 3 is a little bit more makeable than 4. 3s happen all the time in a 5 rock free guard zone with last rock. They've thrown the 1 corner guard already. It got a little bit tight and a little bit farther over there. I'd be shocked if they don't throw a second guard. And they're going to, I think that discussion was, do we split the rings or do we throw the high one on the same side? It looks like they're playing this split. What helps them out in this situation too, and it's not just them, it's anybody in this situation, you get your 2 corner guards up, which you can't peel right away. You need 2 guards to try to steal 3. The other side, or to try to score 3. The other side of that is the other team's not going to be trying to steal, so they're throwing everything into the rings, and it's going to
just want to stop. Oh, and it does, much to the celebration, and the people rejoiced.
Yeah, tough for the Tabata team to throw another one. They would have liked, I think, that stone that's just biting, they would have liked that into the 8-foot, and then you pile a third one into the rings and force them to deal with those at some point in time. Now she's going to throw the guard, and there's going to be all kinds of rocks in play here.
Good to see the Strouse team still smiling there. I think that's the most celebration I've ever seen over a guard stopping short.
That's one where we might have liked to have the mics on the players just to hear how many of them were talking to that rock and what words they were using.
Might have been one for Felix's swear jar.
Could have been. There's definitely the possibility of some colorful language. So your choices now, I think, for Strouse are you come around one of the corners, you can take your pick, or the freeze. She's looking at that as well. I'd be tempted to come around the corner first.
That would be my first pick.
Yeah, they're going to peel the corner guard, and then you play the freeze.
So, aren't you just kind of wasting the guard that you're so celebrating? Because it's gone now.
Well, yeah, you come around the corner guard first. They're going to peel the corner guard. Then you play the freeze. Now they're probably going to hit the open one. So that's how you play it through if you play it that way. You play the freeze first. They're going to peel the corner guard. Now you're going to have to play the second freeze on the center because you just...
Or do you draw underneath the other corner?
Well, this didn't get
not
made.
Part of the plan is drawing behind everything. But it's not the worst thing.
No, it's a shot that would have been in the playbook later on in the end. It's not something you necessarily would have played this early. Which corner guard's the bigger threat? Yeah, I'm not worried about that rock. It's not hurting me.
I'd say the tight one just because it's something that you could run later.
Yeah, there's not likely ever to be a yellow behind it, though. It's easier. It's probably easier to get around the other one, except that it ended up getting quite a bit wider than anything we've seen so far. This one's on better line, but a little tight. You can get into the rings off it, though. That might have been part of the consideration here.
So they make that hit. They're going to roll on into the rings and lie 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's too far, though, really.
It's
left something she could play off that. That's
right.
Not what I'd be playing.
So if that's not what you would play, what would you play?
I'd be tempted to play this. Just a draw tap, almost straight back. You could split those 2 yellows. You don't need to move them yet. Stay in front of them. The danger in playing this, it's a good shot if she makes it. The danger in it, though, is that either you lose the shooter or you dead stuff the first yellow, and it's still a problem behind the 2 guards.
Right, because job 1 is to get this redstone underneath the guard.
Yeah, you got to keep it in play for sure. But if you're going to play weight, you don't want to leave one still dead buried.
It's going to roll, but not nearly far enough.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Got the rock out of the 4-foot area. She's got second and third, and just too risky to try the double because you'd have to flirt with hitting that corner guard, so that's not even an option. Some risk with this. I mean, if you ever got too close to the nose on this, you'd jam it on the yellow.
So on the way from Tabata. Off and on, they think it's pretty close. They're going to make contact, get over the top. And they cleared it out, Sean.
Yeah. So I'm looking at our rock counter's wrong, and our end is wrong, and our score's wrong. Okay. So she's got 4 left. The options I'm seeing, if you could just throw it delicate enough to get to the inside of that yellow, roll under, pass it through. If you want to bring that red at the back into play, you do have to address these yellows at some point in time. You don't necessarily have to hit the freeze that she was talking about is one way to address them. Coming around, drawing around the middle leaves a short run on the yellow. I have to think that's what they're talking about with that angle they were indicating with the yellow. You come around and she's got a short run where she's got 2 red rocks she could get rid. Either one of them is good. I don't know if you want to hit that. Freeze is good. That's what they're playing. You'd like to stay ever so slightly, I think, to the center line corner of it. I don't mind that either. Gonna stick to the freeze.
It's definitely not a shot that you've seen before.
No, they have seen some draws to the corner, but nothing this far back. And the line's critical here. She's got to keep a good piece in front of that yellow. You want something that if they're going to make a play on it, they're jamming the red and losing the yellow.
So Sydney sends it on the way.
Eight looks to be close. They're sweeping for curl. This is close.
Really, really close. Don't want it to over curl. Just a touch short, but I think that's not too bad, Sean.
Yeah, it left more separation than they would have liked. Like if you're right to the face with that line, it's tough to get it out. There is room to get it out. There's no way I'm worried about holding the shooter. Like she's talking about it. Yeah, peel, that's better. Don't even think about holding the shooter. Just throw big weight, blast it out. The thinner you hit this, the better. There's always the chance your shooter might clip that one out of the back, and then the game's pretty much over.
Trying to hold the line. It's coming in on them. They're going to pick it, clip the one on the back on the way by, but they do kill that stone. And they do lie 1-2 at the moment, very importantly.
Yeah, I think you have to play that shot at the top now. Just play the tap it back, roll under. Now you're trying to tap it back enough to kill it, but it's going to jam on the yellow at the back. Still, if you end up with the 2 reds behind cover and the yellow open, That'd be a
tap it
pretty
back.
good spot. Yeah.
Yeah, so tap it back, clip it, roll underneath the cover, and if you get lucky, end up 1-2 after it if you can move that back one just a touch.
Yeah, I think you're more likely to dead jam it, but that's not even the critical part. The critical part is to have both reds in the spot where she can't really make a play on either one of them, and then what does Tabata do? Like, there's still 2 red rocks to be thrown after this. If she's sitting, even if she's sitting, well, let's say she dead jams it, even if she's sitting second and third, like, your yellow that's going to be dead jammed at the back is wide open. You don't really want to be playing draws with a 3-point lead, but you don't have anything you can hit. What do you do?
So the stone from Delaney is picked up by Tessa right away. Gonna be very close to that high guard. Will it get by? No, it wrecks, and it's gonna spill out of the rings.
Well, this gets interesting now. I think if you're Tabata, aren't you just peeling your own rock out of the 12-foot, the top one? I mean, if you get rid of that rock, the red at the back is open. You only need to kill one more red. Just make sure something's open for your next shot.
They're gonna talk about it.
Well, I don't even think they've seen the option of peeling that one out of the biting the top 12. It's the only rock hurting you. Well, talking about throwing a guard, which, you know, a little unconventional, but it's not a horrible call because right now you're sitting 2, and for the Strouse team to even get back into this game, they have to bring that one at the back 12 into play, so they have to somehow find a way to hit the 2 yellows. Yeah, they're going to play the guard. Okay, play this through. So you make the guard. The Strouse team probably has to come down to that back yellow and try to move it a couple of inches. I mean, you could play a hit and roll if you can see enough of it. But you need to be sitting second and third. You've got that one red on the corner that you could run in on the angle on the last one. It's not there for the double. So you have to make sure you're sitting second and third after the next one. The guard has to be made first. That was a big pop. This is going to have to curl hard to get back to the line. Yeah, it's coming over nice now.
I'm just going to work to keep it moving.
Yeah, if they get it tight enough, this should be good. I already saw them pointing at the run-in. You could play the run-in now, actually. With that being guarded, you make the run-in, and the run-in stone is, assuming you make it, but if you don't make it, you're not getting to throw your last one. If you make the angle run-in, the red that you're running in is going to be buried. The problem with playing it now is you're going to roll your shooter out of play. Tabata's going to draw. I think you have to play the back one. Tabata still could draw, but then you angle up. You try to line up your angle on that angle run-in to try to have an angle run-in double. So they are playing the back one, and they'll just try to hit it and roll underneath. Force Tabata to draw, and then hope that they've got some kind of angle for the run-in. definitely want to make sure you roll here. Get the roll even all the way over to the center line if you could, because Tabata's got two choices. She could draw, make you look at 2, or she could just simply peel out that corner guard that you need to run in. However, I think there might be a port on what would be the outturn side for Ann O'Hara to try to get directly to the stone in the 8-foot. This is a long ways from getting the roll she needs.
It's going to come on up and just beyond the nose.
Now she can just try to make that go away, and it doesn't matter that that angle is still there.
So trying to come on in there, past the guard, no problem. Past the second one, making the hit, clearing it out, and that will do it. So the final score will be 5-2 in favor of Team Tabata, and they will grab that first win in pool play, and Team Strouse will fall to 0-1. They'll have a must-win scenario later on this afternoon, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, both teams had their struggles here, but just the first game, and both still, looking for the playoff berths. Certainly helps Tabata picking up the win. You only got 3 games. 3-0 will get you through to the playoffs for sure. 2-1 more than likely is going to go to last shot draw tiebreaker. So big to pick up the win in the opening draw, and a lot of action yet to come here for Swift Current.
Absolutely. We have all that action here on Curling Stadium all weekend long. Our next broadcast is coming up in just 1 hour's time. So for Sean Joyce, Kaylee, and Jerry, I'm Dave Schmel. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a pleasant day.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.